What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks and AP. AP, how have you been, man? We haven't had you on here for about a week and a half. How have things been going with you in NBA DFS?
Yeah, actually, wasn't it last Monday? I think I took
Oh, was it?
Glock spot.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I,
true. So
I'm.
it has been a week, but it's been a long week, to be
It's been a
fair,
long week.
with the
Yep.
tournament and.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is not going to be like a popular take, but like I'm excited to get back to watching the NBA instead of this trash college basketball product that they have out there. Might not be a hot take, I know. Shots fired, but man, we're what like it was, I was with a bunch of family. We're on a trip, so everyone's watching college basketball, obviously, and I always do during March Madness too. But man, the NBA is just such a better product in my opinion. So not biased at all or anything like that, but I'm excited to dive into it. We got a fun slate tonight, guys.
Well, the one thing I enjoy about college basketball is that I don't handicap it at all. So I get to just play, like JJ Sheet plays and just be a fan, right? And root them in. And it doesn't, if I lose, it's not the same pain as when, like, I handicap an NBA game and get it wrong. So I do enjoy that. And I do enjoy seeing some of the young guys that will be in the NBA next season. So that's been pretty cool, too. But Tyler, what can I say, man? Of course, we didn't have a show on Sunday, so we couldn't give it to all the people. But once again, the Run Pure Bets members got another winning parlay in the Discord. That's three more than 20 to 1 parlays in a 7-day span, man. How does it feel? And you're going to have to hire a tax man, dude. This is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Turn $75 into 1,600. So
Yeah.
see if we can keep that momentum rolling into this week. But the thing I got to tout the most over the weekend, because just like you said, we don't cap college basketball much.
Yeah.
I'm holding first in that Run Pure Bets poll right now. So I need Kansas to keep pulling strong, and they got a nice, easy path. So somebody better beat me here. We'll see what happens there. But
I was eliminated by Friday with my Baylor versus Iowa final.
me and Joey work in the top three, so see what happens.
Joey's
there.
always good at these things, man. It doesn't matter whether or not he caps the sport or not. So cool. We'll definitely be rooting for you there as a show contributor. But did you watch some NBA over the weekend? Of course, I had it on. That's the joy of having multiple TVs. Did you have any takeaways from the NBA weekend, Tyler?
Not many. I mean, just that Donovan Mitchell showed up in New York, of course, because we all know he wants to play for the Knicks. We all knew he was going to chuck the ball last night.
Him and Zion? So. Him and Zion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you see they finally gave him like the shutdown? They said he's not coming back.
Yeah, I mean that was like the least surprising news of the whole season, right? But yeah, so we'll see how that turns out, and we'll see if Zion ends up on the Knicks. But let's jump into tonight's games. The Portland Trailblazers are now +9. Tyler, this was -7 when I was working on earlier today. Total 222.5, +353 for the Blazers if you want to get crazy. But I think the line move is correct. I don't know how far it's going to go, right? But we're a little disappointed on the live show. We got the Nets at a discounted price and they still didn't cover. But that was like the typical NBA. Let's just cruise for 42 minutes and then turn it on in the last 6 minutes. I don't think the Pistons are going to do that tonight. I really like this at 7, at 9. It's kind of screaming stay away for me. I know that Jeremy Grant's out, but I will have Cade Cunningham in the lineup. I think Killian Hayes is probable. Kelly Olynyk, I thought he was going to be out. Now he's questionable, so that's a good sign because he's been upgraded. Hamidou Diallo out. Frank Jackson out doesn't mean much. And then on the other side for Portland, no Josh Hart. That's actually must be why with the line moved. Yusuf Nurkic still out. Did you see him throw that kid's phone, Tyler, on Twitter?
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, well, that's enough for the intro. What do you think of the Pistons and the Blazers tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's just simple. I think Detroit smokes them. I think they win this game by 15+ points. So if I had to pick a side, of course, I'm taking the Detroit -9. Looking at some of these player performance doubles, they have Sadiq Bey 3+3s, and Detroit wins at even money. I think that's a solid play because they're giving up 4+3s to shooting guards over the past 30 days. And I could just see him absolutely eating this defense up. So that's my favorite bet in this one. And you could even do like a Cade Cunningham double-double and win at +205. Because this is another matchup where he could just eat them up too. So those would be my two favorite plays in this one.
If he does get the double-double, do you think it's more likely rebounds or assists that get you there?
I think it's more likely the assists, but he could definitely get the rebounds. He might even triple-double here, so could be a spot for him to have a big game.
I like the double-doubles when you have the multiple ways to get the second one. AP, how are you approaching the Blazers and the Pistons?
Yeah, I mean, the Blazers, both teams are in tank mode, obviously, but, obviously the difference is Detroit, really working on developing their rookies, Cade Cunningham, then, developing Sadiq Bey, and then obviously Marvin Bagley, too, moving over from the Kings. He's fitting in there nice, and we should get somewhat of a tight rotation. So I like this one in DFS. Now, I don't know, like Chris Dunn's playing good off the bench. He's been kind of a spark. Like Trendon Watford has looked okay. They got Winslow. Like, I don't know. I go back and forth here. Like, I could see Detroit blowing them out, but again, I'm like, it's the Pistons. Do I really think this team is going to blow them out? How often does Detroit just like break our heart? Like all the time. So like, I'm not sold. I kind of like the Blazers here. Maybe it's more of like a confirmation bias type thing because I like a mini stack here, kind of like a scrub on scrub type stack with Watford, Winslow, Chris Dunn, and then you bring it back with Cade Cunningham and Marvin Bagley. Like, I think that is a really tasty way to start off the slate tonight, stacking up this game. And with it being a 9-game slate, as far as DFS goes, people forget about, game stacks a little bit. They try to mix and match from the different games. So that's a route I like. I do lean the Blazers here. I don't feel comfortable about it, especially after, Tyler's comments. He's the one on a heater right now, but I got to go with my lean, and that's the Blazers +9 and a slight lean to the over. I think we're to the point in the season where these teams, really in these type of matchups, they're not going to be caring about defense that much. It's going to be up and down, more offensive type of play. And, individually, they're trying to showcase their talents. On the Blazers side, Eubanks, he's a guy that's constantly on a 10-day contract now. So he's like fighting for his life. Watford's actually looked good. Like, I think if he continues to look good throughout the season, he could find a spot somewhere. And then Winslow is in that same boat, a guy that just, I think he's going to want to produce. He's fighting for, next year, in my opinion.
All right. And Justice Winslow, glad you brought that up. Drew Carpenter, this one's for you, Tyler. He says, what do you think of Winslow points, rebounds, assists prop with hard out? I'll tell you what, I felt that Winslow was, the key reason that they covered that game against the Nets the other night. I thought he played really well. What do you think of the Winslow points, rebounds, assists prop, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't hate it if you're getting it like right around the 24.5 number or below that. So I definitely like that number if it's below that.
All right, there we go.
I haven't really targeted any Justice Winslow props. He's not a guy I have on my list when I go to props.
Do you remember when Danny Ainge wanted him so bad, and the Hornets wouldn't trade him so they could pick Frank Kaminsky?
Yep.
That was a long time ago. I thought Winslow was going to be a lot better. They ended up being.
Well, what are his props? Because he with hard out, he's gonna want to try to do it all.
Have they put him back up yet, or did they pull him all?
Here, I'll go look now.
All right. Yeah, AP, you made a great point there about these two teams tanking. I would say one advantage the Pistons have is they're pretty much locked in down there, right? They're a top 3 pick no matter what. The Blazers are like really trying to sink, right? Because they had hopes at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Now they're like embracing the tank, and we've seen it kind of with the rotations and the players that they're putting out there. We the people like Brandon Williams. AP, are you looking forward to some Brandon Williams tonight?
Yeah, the problem is Chris Dunn right now. I think it seems like they're giving him a good look. He played for the Bulls, I believe, right? And then he got hurt.
Was drafted by the Bulls.
Yeah. I always thought he was decent. He seemed decent. He was good to me fantasy wise, and he's looked good in his return. So I think I think he eats into Brandon Williams. So that's why I'm not as high on Brandon Williams. But Trendon Watford, Justice Winslow, like those guys, they're going to get all the minutes that they can handle. So that's where I would go. That's why in a stack, I like Dunn for the value. So you take, Dunn plus the savings he gives you over Williams, pair him with Winslow, Watford, run it back with Cade and Bagley. And what you hope for is just tight rotations, little defense, and a lot of scoring. And I think we could see that happen in these type of. We're to the point in the season where every game, like it gets a little bit more difficult to do these playbooks and everything because like every day game is going to tell a different story. Some of these games are going to be competitive, and it's like, oh, on paper it should be a great game to target, but it's not because both teams are like fighting for playoff seeding. So you're going to see more defense. While a game like this, these teams don't really care what happens individually. They do. Like these players want the win, but and so what I see happening usually is slacking on defense, more scoring. They want those individual stats. That's how I see it at least. So I like this game on DraftKings, FanDuel. That's kind of where I'm at here.
Tyler, did you find those numbers?
Yeah, his points are 12.5, rebounds are 6.5, assists are 2.5.
Okay, so what do you think of that one?
I mean, I haven't really looked at his numbers, but I'd probably take the overs. He'd probably get the usage. Mm-hmm. It's just not a guy I target. I like to target the bigger guys with all the usage. He's not a guy on my radar when it comes to props.
All right. That's a fair assessment. Let's talk about, you're talking about the big high-name players. We got one of the highest profile names in the NBA tonight heading home. The Los Angeles Lakers will be in Cleveland taking on the Cavaliers. Cavaliers -5, total 227. Lakers +187 on the money line. The narrative is going to be out in force today, right? ESPN's going to love this game. The kid from Akron returns home to take on the Cavaliers. Cavaliers laying 5 here. It seems about right with the way that the Lakers have been playing. I don't even know if they want this playing spot. It's almost like LeBron's like, hey, guys, let me get my stats, and we're going to gear up for next year. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it because you got to think if Anthony Davis did come back, right, this team could make a little push. But I guess I've been saying that all year, and nothing's ever happened with the Los Angeles Lakers. I like the Cavaliers here. I don't know if I want to lay 5 points. The numbers are telling me to lay 5, but I'm wondering like how long can this Lakers slide last? Tyler, we have this conversation a lot. I'm a little hesitant to bet against the Lakers, and then usually by the end of your breakdown, I'm pressing submit. Are we going to do that again today? Are you going to talk me into fading the Los Angeles Lakers?
I mean, LeBron's questionable, but we all know he's going to play this game.
He's going to play.
He's 16-1 against the Cavs in his career, but you got to think this is his first time as an underdog. Mm-hmm. So, and this is probably the first time they get their chance to like actually beat up on them. I could see them having a big game against them. And the other thing that worries me is they won the last game spread. You want to know what they are against the spread after a win this season?
Who, the Lakers?
22. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna back the Cavs here. They can't stop guards, so Garland should have a big game. I can see him putting up like 30 and 10. So I'm gonna back his 3+ threes and win at +196, his double and win at +150, and the 25+ and win at +160.
All right, I like those looks. AP, how are you approaching this game?
Yeah, I think this is the easiest bet on the board today. I think it's the Cavs side. I think they absolutely smash them. I mean, look, like LeBron was a +1 and Russ was a -1. So LeBron was 16 for 29. Russ was 10 for 15. This was against the Wizards, a game that they lost 119 to 127. I mean,
how do you lose to the Wizards, man? That's bad.
They played on paper +- and Malik Monk a +16. So you have Monk, Westbrook, and LeBron all playing. On paper, mind you, like one of the better games that they've had, and they still got smoked by the Wizards. No, this team. The only reason the Cavs are -5 is because of the narratives. LeBron, King James returning to Akron, just all the him versus the Cavs, the record, all of that. I mean, this game should be 7, 8, 9 points in my opinion. So, we're taking the Cavs here -5. I feel very, very good, very confident about that pick. I think it's one of the easier ones on the board today. And I think fantasy-wise, what you do is you play Darius Garland. I mean, he's going to have his way. Or you go underweight this game, just like I could see, like what Tyler said, I could see them just embarrassing this team. That's what they want to do. They don't give a shit about LeBron James, like the players there. They respect what he's done for the game and from Cleveland, but they absolutely want to embarrass him today. So Evan Mobley, Garland, those guys should have good games here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they just got blown out too, or if they blew out the Lakers. So DFS wise, I'm real like if you think the game stays close, you can play LeBron. I'm not falling for Russell Westbrook. He's had 2 good games relative to his price, but they weren't games that killed you. Like the Russ of old that we're used to on different teams where he just takes it and does everything. At his price, he can absolutely kill you. It's not the case anymore. I think the last 2 games, we saw ceiling games out of Russ, and that's 56 and 50 fantasy points. Tougher matchup here. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the rim as easier, especially it was kind of telling against the Wizards. That was like the best matchup that he's going to get all season, and he put up 50 DK points. So we're not going there. I like the Cavs side here for DFS. Garland, Mobley, all fine plays. I think the sneakier play, though, is Kevin Love. I think he's going to come off the bench. I think he's the guy that shines over LeBron, with LeBron coming home.
All right, and the whole panel agrees. But one of our chatters has been doing very well lately. We the people thinks the Lakers get the win, so we get a little bit here. I think I disagree with you here. I think he does good. I mean, you got to remember he's still a rookie, and he's going to get better. He showed definite shot blocking skills and the stuff I watched from him at USC, and I think that you will see it. Right now, he hasn't really had to assume that role until that recent Jared Allen injury. But hey, we'll get a chance to see that tonight and continue having that discussion. Tyler, anything more on this one before we move on?
No, I got nothing on this one.
I thought he was leaving.
You always get me when my mouse is on like the other side of the screen.
Oh, I was
I'm like scrolling through stuff over here, and then
I was going through Bookmaker to go to the next game, and give these lines here. And this is one, Tyler, and I'm going to enjoy getting a little needling here in on this one. As the Miami Heat head to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. But Tyler, your MVP is not going to play against the first place Miami Heat. What's going on with Joel Embiid? Why isn't he playing? Oh, man, how disappointing must it be to think the guy's, the most valuable player in the league, and he can't play at home against the first-place squad? What's going on with the Heat and the Sixers, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, ever since your MVP's team threw him on his back, he hasn't played well. So, I mean,
hey, don't mess with the Serbians, man. Ask Markieff Morris.
Yeah, I told you they played dirty, so that's what they did. But Miami's going to roll this game, so we know they're the best team in the East. They can match up well with them, so.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. I'm kneeling.
My bad. I was doing something else.
No, it's all good. But I was going to just jump in and say that, as high as you are on Embiid as a player, you're probably higher on Miami as a team, right? I mean, even at full strength.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely higher on Miami.
So the line moved to 4.5. This was 2.5 earlier. So I mean, is it too far? Is 4.5 too far, or can we play this at -4.5?
No, I would still play the -4.5. I think they're going to smash them. I mean, they don't have Embiid in the middle. Bam should be able to work. Hero's going to kill their bench, so I could definitely.
Well, Hero had a little injury too last game.
I don't see him on his injury report though, so
okay.
I think he'll be fine.
All right, AP from a DFS perspective, right? With Embiid out, we usually slot Harden into our top spend up role, but he's been, not been the best lately, right? Definitely struggling from the field. Been still doing great at the free throw line, but not the best. And hey, this is a tough team to go against, especially on the perimeter. I don't know. I think I'm kind of out as a Harden on a spend up tonight. What do you think of James Harden? What do you think of this game? And I'll be interested to see. I'd also like to know, what are you projecting for his ownership here now that Embiid's been ruled out?
Yeah, I mean, Miami coming off wins, over OKC, the Pistons. They lost to the Timberwolves, lost to the Suns. Just looking kind of at their last 5. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go the other side of Tyler again, and I like these spots. So, in my opinion, Embiid, I think he could play. I think this is more of one of those mind games, and usually Spoelstra is the one that likes to play these. Why go full healthy on full healthy? I think if Philly loses that with Embiid in there, I think it messes with all of their heads. But if they sit Embiid here, if they go in with Harden, let him do his thing, and if they can get a win, it messes with Miami's head. So you see like these coaches do these things up into the playoffs. Like saw it all the time last year, and Spoelstra is usually the one that does it. But no, give me Philly here. I like the Philly and the points. I think Harden. I think he can kind of go in and do his thing. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about is DeAndre Jordan's going to get absolutely cooked. So, like, I think at DFS, if Harden is going to be lower owned tonight, I think you get overweight on him. I think he's a phenomenal play. If he busts and if the offensive woes continue, they continue. However, I think this could be an opportunity for us to get Harden at maybe lower ownership given the situation. And with Embiid off the court, you have to think that Harden is going to take all of that offensive usage. We just need him to hit some shots, have one of those big games. Then what you do is I think you run it back with Bam. And you just hope that, we see more offense than defense in this game, which can happen at this point of the season. So give me Harden here. Give me Philly. I think they keep this one close.
All right. In the chat, this is not sure, but he's sure about this. He says Harden's going to be under 5% owned. Would you agree with that? I mean, what do you think his ownership's going to be here?
No, I mean, I think I haven't looked at updated projections, but no, I think he lands at around 15 to 20, maybe 25%. People are it's a numbers game. All he's going to have to do a lot more now on offense. He's going to have to work through it's probably going to be him, Tyrese Maxey, and Tobias Harris. And then I don't know what they're going to do. That's actually, I'm curious, what your guys' opinion. Like DeAndre Jordan is not going to play heavy minutes here. I don't think he can. Like he just doesn't look like he's in shape. So they're going to have to rotate in. I don't know. I mean, can they go small? And could that mess? Could that? They got Thibault. I don't know who would be a small ball route to go, but I don't think DeAndre Jordan is going to be that guy. So that would be my only concern. But I think it's just one of those spots where Harden comes to play, and I think they get it done. I think they surprise and shock Miami tonight.
All right, yeah. Rolo's saying he's coming in at 23% on SaberSim, and Steve says he's going to be over 30% owned.
I got to ask AP, like, what's the path for them to win this game that you're thinking? Like they just catch him in a bad spot.
It's like I wish I had good examples, but it's just like one of those spots where it's like you rest your stud. You need the other guy to step up, and he does, and he shocks them, hits shots early, and I think that might be the key. If he gets off to a good start early, that's going to be the key. And then if you can catch him, if you can catch him with that left hook early and surprise him, then it's all downhill from there. I mean, they have competent guys. Tyrese Maxey, Thibault's been playing much better of late, and then maybe it's a game for Tobias Harris to step up.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, we talked about that before, right? Superstar subtraction, right? These guys get a little bit extra usage, gets them feeling more involved in the game. I wonder if they do, though, if Harden just eats it all up and channels his old Houston Rockets days.
My biggest worry, though, is like even if you get like the perfect game out of those those four names you just gave, like when you got to send out Niang, Danny Green, Milton, you're going to have to use Patrick Reed probably. If Furkan Korkmaz touches the floor, like this Miami bench is going to absolutely torch them when they touch the floor. So
I don't think Korkmaz is as bad as you guys all make him out.
Against the Miami bench that's about to go out there, Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero, and these guys, Max Strauss. Yeah, like they're just going to give them. Yeah, this is going to get ugly, I think. But we've seen wilder things in the NBA.
Well, no, that was my final point. I love that superstar subtraction, right?
That comment's definitely true. Harden is going to get every foul today. They will keep it low scoring, matching the Heat.
That's from our guy Robert. Yeah,
he's definitely going to get the whistle. Today.
I was going to send that to you, Tyler. Remember at the beginning of the year how they weren't going to call as many fouls and everything? It's back up to what the average was last season.
I mean, Matt, like Harden's here. He got the trade that he wanted. Embiid is now sitting. It's his time to show up. I know it's been a rough season for him, but it's still James Harden. I still believe he's one of the better overall scorers, offensive players in the league. So I think put the ball in his hands, let him get it done. And let him prove that he was the right move with that trade.
All right, a lot of fun discourse here. Remember, brought to you by RunPureSports.com. If you're not a member, head on over, use the promo code GetBets. All right, I did this out of order. I don't know why Bookmaker put the Heat above the 76ers here on our rundown. They were doing that earlier on the makeup games. I got to keep an eye on that. But regardless, we're still going to get to every game. So if it's out of order, don't worry. You'll still get the breakdown. The New Orleans Pelicans will be in Charlotte taking on the Hornets. The Hornets laying 5.5 at home. Total of 236 plus 196 on the money line for the Pelicans. We know Brandon Ingram's still out here, Tyler. The Pelicans are coming off. They had a pretty nice win over who am I trying? Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. They had a good win, a 5-point win the other night.
Hawks.
I can't remember who. Hawks. Yeah, I thought that's a pretty good win for the Pelicans. Don't you, right? In Atlanta, they broke the Hawks 7-game winning streak at home, and the Hawks had won 15 of their last 17 at home before that loss to the Pelicans, right? So you got to consider that a good loss, right? I'm done talking down on CJ McCollum. Okay, he can get it done. Eat my words. Take the L. He's a good player. He's been a great addition for that team. Looking over the injury report as well, Devontae Graham questionable. I think they'll need him, and Hayward's still out. But very clean on the Charlotte side. Very clean on the Charlotte side here. I think this is another tough game. I think the number is pretty close to right. I have it as pretty close to right. My number will take to take the Hornets, but I've been off on the Pelicans here. So maybe I need to, when I'm doing the Pelicans, just throw out all those earlier numbers and only run them with McCollum. My worry there is a small sample size. But if I were to do that, they would say to take the Pelicans. So I'm kind of torn here on how to approach this, right? If we're filling out every single one and you made me pick, I would take the 5.5, but I don't love it. Tyler, how should I approach this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to side with Charlotte here. I know the Pelicans are 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 on the road. And in their last 5 trips to Charlotte, they are 5-0 against the spread. But you look
at the trip, right?
You look at the shooting. Yeah, you look at the shooting numbers for these teams over the last 5 games. Charlotte ranks 3rd in field goal percentage, 2nd in 3-point percentage. You look at Pelicans defense, 28th in opponents' field goal percentage, and 25th in opponents' 3-point percentage. So these Charlotte guys are going to get all the shots they want. It's just the shot's going to fall. I could see Rozier having a big game. LaMelo's going to have a big game, I believe. So I like playing his double-double and win. Sprinkle on his triple-double and win at like 20-1. And then I like his assist over 7.5. And, of course, the McCollum props, the points plus assist, and the assist over.
Yeah, in the chat, right? You guys are – I can't even keep up. Dennis Nedry says over 6.5 assists. I definitely got to agree there.
He's going to do all the ball handling. He's going to get a ton of shots. And if you can get his points plus assist around like 35.5, I like the over there too.
Yeah, AP at the trade deadline, right? I thought that the Pelicans were kind of just, grabbing at straws here and making a futile attempt, but it's turned out very well for this team. Now they're catching 5.5 in Charlotte. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, actually, you could take that trade a step further and go back to the Joval trade and just I think at the time we're like, why are they getting this guy? And now what we're seeing with Zion, it is all making sense. Now, did they actually have that all planned out from the get-go? Probably not, but it was probably more of an insurance policy that now is paying off. I like the Pelicans front court. I don't know, they're pretty good defensively. They're tough. Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes, they got a ton of length and guys that can get out and switch. So I kind of think that's going to make things tough on these guards and wings here. So the only play, for me, this is one of those games where both teams need to win. They're fighting for the seeding in the playoffs, playing games, and high total. One where we're gonna have a good pace, but I'm worried. The only play I really like here is CJ McCollum. So I like that with that you guys are on his props there. I think the ball is going to be like you guys said, the ball is going to be in his hands the whole time, and then we're going to get some peripherals from him too. And I don't see him going 9 for 26 again. I think he's going to have a better shooting game here against this Hornets team. So I think this is going to be a decent spot fantasy wise, but it feels a little trappy. So I'm going to be under on the Hornets side. I like CJ McCollum, and then I think if you want a crazier take in tournaments, because we're just getting to that point of the season where I like making some of these moves. Willie Hernangomez off the bench. I think he's a very sneaky There, hey, look at that! Look at that comment
Robert's
right
with
there.
you
I
too.
didn't see that. I saw you pull it up on our screen though.
Yeah.
He can always produce in these short bursts, and he's very productive when he's out there. Great matchup here, and I think he could be a great tournament play. So slight lean on the over. I want the Pelicans to cover here. I don't feel great about it, but I do feel good about CJ McCollum in DFS.
Yeah, and I think this is a fantastic game. I think if you're a casual NBA fan and you only care about who wins the ring, you're not really too interested. But if you watch the NBA like we do, I mean, I think this is a fascinating matchup between two teams. I think they're both currently ninth, right? New Orleans is ninth. Tied with the Lakers right now. They're looking to host them. Charlotte ninth as well. Holding off the Hawks here.
Question for you guys.
Cool matchup.
I'm seeing a lot of love for Miles Bridges in the chat. I mean, I kind of don't get it. I think it's his birthday. Okay.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
I hope people chase that in DFS. He's priced up. I wish he was like 7-4, 7-5, because I think he'd get more ownership. I just think it's a tough spot for him.
I think I seen this video last night too. This guy was talking about all the 50-point games that have been happening recently and how there's been like 18 in the last half a month, and it all started with LeBron's 56, and then you see Steph go for 47 on his birthday. I think a lot of these guys are now starting to when they get these games with extra narratives. Like Cat, for instance, the other night it was the anniversary with his mom dying, and then he went for 60. So
gotcha.
This could be another spot where they're just like, oh, Bridges' birthday, feed him the ball, and he's just looking for a shot all night, and he might score 40 right here. So could be something to watch here.
I wasn't laughing at the Cat's mom's anniversary. It was we the people in the chat. No Miles Bridges slander.
Yeah. All right. No Bridges slander.
I'm not big of a dick.
And you know what? And Tyler, to your point, right? Like you would think, oh, they're professional athletes. No, it's an 82-game schedule. We the people and I will disagree, but it's too long. The players do circle certain games.
You know how these young guys are too. They're like, oh, Steph went for 47 on his birthday. Let me one up him and go for 50 on mine.
Yeah. No, I really do think they do that.
Yeah, he's capable. I mean, the dude's, he's had a good season. He's been playing out of his mind. This DFS wise, the Hornets are just so tricky to target because it's like one night it's Rozier, the next night it's Ball, the next night it's Bridges, or randomly Kelly Oubre off the bench. So it's just a team I've been avoiding playing. I love playing players against them though.
All right. RunPureSports.com.
That could be a guy that could win you a ton of money though, right? AP?
Yeah, Bridges? Yeah. Because 8K, I don't think he's going to be higher on. So I can get on board with the birthday narrative.
All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where his ownership pans out tonight. Utah Jazz will be in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. Jazz laying 2 on the road, total of 230. Nets are plus 107 on the money line. Let me review this injury report real quick. Mike Conley's in. He doesn't mean much to me anymore. Boy, he's a shadow of him for himself, but I guess it's better than nothing. Trent Forrest, probable. Bojan out for Utah. LaMarcus Aldridge still out. And, of course, no Kyrie. Goran Dragic, questionable, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Tyler, this is a tough game for me, right? Because the Nets haven't been good at home and the Jazz haven't been good on the road, right? I think both teams would rather play this game in Utah, which you would never think you'd be saying that about going to Utah to take on the Jazz. But with no Irving, right? This team becomes so Durant-centric. I think they do like having Dragic there as the extra scorer, so something to keep an eye on there with him. Patty Mills, we thought was going to be this great addition. Hasn't necessarily turned out to be the best as far as being a supporting cast member. Of course, we got guys like Cam Thomas and everything chipping in. I lean Brooklyn here just because I don't trust the Jazz on the road, but I can understand why people like Utah. What are your thoughts?
I'm with you. Give me Brooklyn here. I mean, I think the Jazz played I know most of the guys on the team probably don't think this way, but I think Mitchell played his more important game in the state of New York last night playing the Knicks. Mm-hmm. We all know he wants to play there. He hung the big number in Madison Square Garden. They didn't leave New York City because they're not going to leave and come back to Brooklyn. So who knows what these guys did last night? Mm-hmm. These guys could come out flat-footed tonight. So I'm definitely going to side with Brooklyn here. And you look at their shooting numbers too, and they're ranked second in field goal percentage, fourth in three-point percentage, last 5. And then you look at Utah's defense; they rank 3rd and 15th in opponents' field goal 3-point percentage. So it's really going to be a fucking fight between those two, the defense and the offense. But who guards KD here? Royce O'Neal? Like, there really is nobody to guard him. He's not tall enough. You can't put Rudy on him. He's too slow. So I think KD's going for like 35 plus points here. So I'm going to play the 30 plus and win and the 35 plus and win, and even build the same game parlay of 40 plus and win.
Yeah, I mean, AP, you got to think that KD's an attractive spend up tonight. How are you approaching the Nets and the Jazz?
Yeah, so I said the Cavs were the easiest bet on the board. I take that back. The Nets are the easiest bet on the board tonight. Take the side and then scoop up the money line too. I mean, KD is a dog against a Jazz team that, like Tyler said, I was looking at it right now. Like, I was looking at this matchup for wings. Like, RJ Barrett had a good game against him. DeRozan got whatever he wanted, kind of that mid-range game. Middleton even had a good game against him. So yeah, sign me up. I think KD has a monster game. I think he's him. And what's funny is, as I'm talking through this right now, KD and Harden might be my favorite two spends on the slate tonight. So hopefully those two can go off for us. But yeah, I think KD's going to have to do a lot, and I think he gets it done. The other thing too, DFS wise, people are going to look at the box scores and they're going to be like, man, he's not getting it done relative to his price. They're going to forget about what his upside is. Like, this guy can put up a monster number. We saw it against the Knicks, a 78 piece. All those big games Kyrie had, he was just kind of hanging back, letting Kyrie do his thing. I think he has a big game tonight. And last game against Portland, like I don't know, we can look over those games. All that's going to do though is lower his ownership. So I think he's a phenomenal play tonight. There's going to be plenty of value to make it work. And yeah, you could run it back with Mitchell, but now that I think about it, that might be the trap. I think a lot of people might try to take like a Donovan Mitchell and KD, a little back and forth in-game stack. But like Tyler, I kind of agree with that. They probably stayed in New York last night. Donnie Mitch coming off a monster game. I think maybe what we do instead is look at, why not play kind of more of a, not necessarily blowout angle, but let's just say the Jazz starters are struggling. Maybe it's because of whatever happened last night. Let's just, we're kind of making things up as we go. But what if we play Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench? No one's going to play him. This is just the time of the season where I like to do, not like get completely crazy, but play situations. Like, think about a script that you could think of happening. And we know when he gets out there, he's just going to fire. If Mitchell comes out and he's struggling with the shot, I could definitely see them, letting him go out there and, play. And if he starts hitting some shots, he's going to get more minutes, especially with how thin the Jazz are right now. If you don't like him, you could go Jordan Clarkson. I think Nas, 5K, no one's going to play him at 5K, but I could definitely see him getting there if he's hitting a shot and if he's getting the minutes.
Our guy PA Young wants to know what you think of Seth Curry tonight at his price tag.
Yeah, I mean, so Dragic is questionable. If he misses, I think you see, Seth Curry and Kevin Durant running point. Not going to be Patty Mills. Patty Mills is going to, stand around and shoot 3-pointers. Probably miss some. It's going to be Curry, and it's going to be Durant, and probably Bruce Brown a little bit handling the ball. So yeah, I could get behind him.
How do you feel about stacking the studs in your two easiest bets of the day? Doing a Garland KD stack.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. I think that might be the better route. If we're not trusting Harden, it might be easier to fit KD and Garland too.
Yeah, I think that's the route I'm going to go tonight.
All right, I like that. I think that's a lot of fun, guys. Remember, we do this here every day for you, Monday through Friday. Just give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and away we go. The Boston Celtics, lane 14. Tyler, normally this would be okay. Take the Thunder. They always cover. Blah blah blah. The Celtics have been smashing good teams. What are they going to do to the Thunder? The Celtics have won 11 of their last 12 on the road. Unbelievable performance here from the Celtics in striking range of that second seed, and for how bad they were in December. for them to be here now, boy, everyone in that organization's got to be real happy about their turnaround. Udoka seems to have really figured it out, right? And Brad Stevens probably liking his new view. Watching this team, Jason Tatum is unbelievable. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, this is the 3rd and 4 nights for Boston, and it is a back-to-back. You need the SGA news before you make a bet here. If he's in, maybe OKC backdoors him. And I could still see some of these guys being pulled for Boston. You've seen Robert Williams get rolled out. You've seen Marcus Smart get rolled out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Tatum or Brown also get rolled out because, just like I said, 3rd and 4 nights, this is probably their easiest stop. This is the 7th game on the road in a road trip, and then they go home after this.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see them taking the game off here. But whichever one of those two guys play is just going to smash this team. And I still think they pick up the win. So I would play the Brown 25+ and win, or the Tatum 30+ and win, depending on which guy plays. If they both play, I think they both can get there still, though.
P.A. Young brings up a good point with Williams and Smart out. That is the 2 best defenders. The question is, though, does Oklahoma City even have the shooters
I mean,
to take advantage of it, right?
Ball 20 times yesterday, and he made, 3 of them?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. We went over it a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to go off the top of my head here, right? Oh, but potential assists, right? Giddy and SGA had the highest amount of missed assists. If you compare their potential assists to total assists, the difference was the greatest. And then, of course, Giddy's off the pick and roll. Same deal here. So, even when Oklahoma City gets open shots, they don't always bury them. AP, how do you approach this one?
Al Horford revenge game spread? I'm sorry, AP.
Man, that's like the spirit of Mangone is here on the show today. Al Horford revenge game. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I mean, God, what you're hoping that, like, betting the Thunder here, you're hoping that, what OKC does is they let SGA play because, the Celtics are resting a few guys. I mean, if he doesn't play, they're going to get absolutely smoked. I think we have so many good bets on this card. Like, I don't think we need to go here. I think we move off. And, again, I think, an interesting tournament play is Daniel Theis at 3.5K on DraftKings. So I think if the Celtics get going, I think you could play Derek White, Daniel Theis, and you got an interesting, path there. But I don't see this game staying close unless SGA plays. He's been phenomenal this season. So obviously we got to wait for the news. Oh, Nick Stauskas. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you about. You kind of caught it already. We're talking about Derek White. Obviously, he becomes a pretty good play.
So
what about Stauskas, though? How do we approach that?
There's a difference between Theis and Stauskas, okay? He's proven that he's shown upside recently, and he's shown, a higher ceilings or minutes floor recently too. 22 against the Kings. We have no idea what Stauskas is gonna do.
All right, so yeah, that AP thinks it's too risky, right? But sometimes it's those risks that help you get to the top of the GPP when you're making.
My German brother was just we had an exchange student live with us for a year, long time ago with my family. He comes back and visits. He's fucking awesome, dude. I think I say Theis's name wrong. I can't remember what he was telling me now because we were talking about all the German players in the NBA.
What would it be?
Is that right? Is it Theis?
Tease? I don't know either. So, dude, I have enough problems.
Maybe Chad can help us.
Yeah, maybe they can. We the People's got a good question for you here, AP and Tyler. You might know too. Wouldn't Pritchard get run before Stauskas? And I believe that would be true. But I have not been charting those reserve minutes because those don't really affect my bets at all.
Yeah, he would.
Okay.
I mean, you're hoping for Aaron Nesmith to be out, and then Grant Williams to get hurt, and I don't know.
The game to be down with them to be up by 30, and then maybe Stauskas gets in.
Grant Williams is sneakily becoming that Shane Battier type of role player that just helps you win, right? Some nights it's points, some nights it's defense, some nights it's rebounding, right? But he just seems to fill in whatever they need for that night. He said it's pronounced Tice, like the
Tice.
Minnesota
There we
Vikings
go. Thanks,
old
Steve.
coach. Anthony Jackson wants to know, hey, a 50-point G League game doesn't count?
Yeah, I mean, I missed that game, so yeah,
All right.
good mention, Anthony.
we'll have to get the DraftKings to start throwing out the G League lineups here. The Washington Wizards, who we just talked about earlier as being so bad, they're not as bad as their opponent tonight, the Houston Rockets, because the Rockets are catching 5.5 at home on a total of 234, plus 182. Tyler, I'll tell you what, man, I've been having problems with these games where it's two lottery teams playing, right? It's just tough to tell. Like the rotations get wonky. I'm not really sure who's trying to lose as far as the rotations and ruling people out. I really like Houston's the way they're rebuilding. They have a pretty clean injury report tonight. I mean, if Eric Gordon plays, I guess that would push me here towards the Houston side. But this Houston defense is just absolutely terrible. So I'm not going to get involved. But let's say we were going to parlay every single game, Tyler. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I would probably side with the Rockets here. I mean, Kuzma's questionable. If he doesn't play, I definitely think the Rockets pick up the win here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, where else is your offense going to come from? Kristaps could have, a decent game. I don't see him hanging like 40 points here. And the guards for the Rockets should just be able to eat up this Washington backcourt. Like, I could see Kevin Porter having a big game. I could also see Jalen Green having a big game. And they have some of these props listed super low on Kevin Porter. Like, you could do Kevin Porter 12-plus points, and Houston wins at plus 240. Him 2+ threes, and they win the game at plus 240. 5+ assists, and the guy starts point guard at plus 270, and they win. So I like those. You could do Jalen Green 15 points and win, 2+ threes at plus 275 and plus 290. I think those guys are going to absolutely feast in this game. So if I get that news that Kuzma's out, give me the Rockets. But if he's in, I'm probably just going to stay away from the game.
Yeah, P.A. Young says Silas' rotation is tilting. It's like he's trying to lose. I would agree with that. AP, I think this is a tough game to bet, but there's no way we can cross it off from DFS. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, I like the Rockets here. I think, the Wizards coming off what I think was a big win for them against the Lakers. Nice little letdown spot. Kuzma's never questionable too, which kind of has me concerned that he doesn't play. So just like doing content every day, doing the heat map every day, I'm telling you, I can't remember the last time Kuzma was questionable going into a game. Now, I didn't catch that game. So I don't know if there was like a fall or something like that happened. So, I mean, I think there's a chance that, I'm showing knee tendonitis, right knee. So I think there's a chance that, he could potentially sit. So I've kind of been working under that assumption and just like planning out how I'm going to, work this late. And so that's why I'm high on guys like Denny. I like Rui Hashimura. I think he's really cheap off the bench. I think Daniel Gafford could have a monster game. Like, I think it's tough, like figuring out which guy it's going to be because the Wizards have such a big rotation. But if Kuzma's out, these guys are going to get in there. And they're so cheap on DraftKings, they're going to smash. Like Ish Smith, I think he could have a big game. Rui, I think he could get it done. Daniel Gafford against the Rockets, he only needs 22 minutes to put up like 35 to 36. Like they are terrible against bigs. But I like the Rockets here, +5, and I also like the over. I think this is going to be another game where as long as these guys are hitting shots, I think there's not going to be a lot of defense played. And I think Jalen Green could have a good game. Kevin Porter could have a good game. And Dennis Schroeder, I think, could have a good game as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Kuzma sits, right, the Wizards just become value town, right? And then you're going to be able to get to whatever stud that you want on the slate. Speaking of a stud that you're going to want on the slate, right, we got two great spend-up options here in the last game of the night. The Minnesota Timberwolves in Dallas taking on the Mavericks. Mavericks -2, total of 230 here. Timberwolves +115 on the money line. Two of the hottest teams in the NBA face off, man. The Mavericks, man, since the new year, right? They've been playing excellent defense. Obviously, we've talked about it many times, but we know that Porzingis was addition by subtraction. Now they have 3 perimeter creators, not 2, with Dinwiddie, Brunson, and Luka here. So Mavericks, right? We talked about it last week, AP, team to watch maybe even as a dark horse candidate to make the finals, but you cannot ignore this Minnesota Timberwolves either as they kind of just cruise up the standings here. They're out of the play-in. They just moved ahead of my guy, and Tyler's going to love this, right? My MVP candidate's in the play-in right now, and they've won 4 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. This Minnesota Timberwolves team, boy, this is 2 teams playing really well, facing off. Tyler, start with you. How are you approaching it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that comment Nick put in there pretty much sums up this game for me.
You got
everything Luka in the win. 30+ points, 5+ threes, double-double. Yeah. I wouldn't play the triple-double because he hasn't really gotten the triple-double since the Dinwiddie trade. Mm-hmm. But the big one here is Cat's questionable on this injury report. If he doesn't play, I mean, I think Dallas just rolls them. They have the better defense. They'll be able to lock down these guards. So I think they could definitely get the job done. And even if he plays, they have this rotation defense that they just lock down bigs and just so I'm going to side with Dallas here, and I think they get the job done at home. Give me the Luka 30+ and win it like plus 200.
Ooh, all right. I can tell this is going to be a tasty parlay. You're going to be cooking up, Tyler. AP, how are you approaching this game?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those where it's like you said it best, Brett. I think DFS wise, we kind of stay away. Unless Cat sits. If Cat sits, you upgrade like a Naz Reid or whoever gets the start. And then you could give, Jared Vanderbilt some bumps. But otherwise, I don't really feel good about attacking Dallas. Their defense has been incredible. And then on the other side, Luka's 12K. He's gonna get some ownership, probably 15 to 20%. I don't like it. I think Jalen Brunson, I think Dinwiddie, these guys, being that they like the ball in their hands and that they can create and take some of that pressure off Luka, it takes away from his ceiling. And at 12K on a slate where we have really good studs, I would rather stay away. So I'll probably be off Luka tonight. Better game to watch. I got the Mavericks though. I think they get it done. I'll take the Mavericks side, and I'm not going to touch the total. And then one last thing. So KPJ. Yeah, I mean, so last game, I'm talking to Robert there in the chat. Shout out to you. Yeah, KPJ was playing Memphis. Grizzlies. Grizzlies are a tough team defensively right now. They're playing the Wizards tonight. These teams are not going to play defense. He shows up in these games where there's no defense played. So I definitely think KPJ could get it done. I don't think he's a phenomenal must play. I think he's just a fine tournament option. So, but back to this game, it's I'm probably fading all the players here on the Wolves and Mavs side. Definitely going to watch this game, and then Dallas is the team I like.
All right, and you just answered the question, but let's just throw it up here for Michael anyways. Anthony Edwards, of course, my favorite interview, my favorite press conference in all the NBA, but you're not high on him tonight, huh?
I mean, what? No one's talking about the addition of Reggie Bullock. It seems like look at what the Knicks, how good was he for the Knicks down the stretch last year? That's and now really look what he's doing with the Mavs. I mean, he's an extension of Dorian Finney-Smith. This defense is good. So yeah, I think the Wolves need Towns. Towns has been playing at a high level. I think he has to be playing to give them a shot. Otherwise, I think the Mavs roll. I don't think it's close.
I think that's a great point. I think that I properly upgraded the Dallas for adding Bullock, but you make a great point on the Knicks, man, because I've been kind of pointing to the loss of Derrick Rose and how much he meant to that team. I think you're a good idea, right? That Bullock and the loss of his defense really hurt that New York Knicks team. How about Thomas Satoransky? Do you think he's playable tonight, AP?
I mean, he played 27 minutes against the Lakers. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't count him out. I think we're to the point in the season where it's you're kind of, making some guesses on what some of these rotations are going to be tonight. But if they just gave him the run, and if it was him and Ish Smith and Raul Neto, they've seen plenty of Raul Neto. I mean, they could definitely work him out and get more Satoransky, more Ish Smith in there. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to not say to play him. I think he's not a solid value, but if you're playing multiple lineups, I think you could play him.
All right, you want to try and make a lineup real quick? I've been putting some stuff in while we've been talking.
We didn't touch the Raptors game, right? Raptors Bulls.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that game.
a good game tonight, spread.
not my best performance hosting. I hope you guys didn't put me in your daily fantasy host lineups today because I got a negative score here. Let's talk about the Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls, guys. Pardon me for skipping over that. I was so excited to talk about the Thunder, boy. How can I miss this one? But hey, this is a great game, especially for playoff purposes. Look at the standings real quick here. Chicago 41-29, Toronto 40-31, right? So a game and a half behind. They could really close that gap here. Toronto's been charging hard. Of course, Toronto still hit with this injury bug, right? And let me go over it again, but I will double check because I know that OG Anunoby's out, but Fred VanVleet's been ruled in. Okay, so that's some big news. And Patrick Williams, Tyler, who we were discussing on Twitter earlier, ruled in. I think this is his season debut. I don't know. Did he play a little bit at the beginning of the year before he got hurt? Maybe he played for a week.
Yeah, he played a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, so I like Patrick Williams a lot just as a rotational defender, especially on a team that needs defense. Fred VanVleet means a lot to this team. I actually kind of was capping this with him sitting out. Looks like he'll be in there. Chicago Bulls, this is their first game home after a 3-game road trip in which we faded them every game and we won every bet because they went 0-3. Now they're back home. I think they can turn things around at the United Center. I like the Chicago Bulls here. This is one of the few games that I like, and I'm not just passing on or telling you that my numbers have it even and the same as the sports books. I think the Bulls have a slight edge here against the Toronto Raptors. I am worried about Toronto's basically they have better defense and they have more athleticism on the wings here. But DeMar DeRozan revenge game, Mangone made sure to send me a note to make sure that I mentioned that. I like the Bulls. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, I think I'm going to go opposite of you. I think I'm going to take Toronto.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, we're opposite.
10-5 in the second legs of back-to-back this year, straight up and against the spread. That's second best in the NBA. Yeah. I know Trent's out, but Fred VanVleet's in, so he's going to pick up that usage there. And you look at Chicago, they're 1-9 against the spread in their last 10, 2-8 straight up in their last 10. And against guards, they're giving up 25 points, 3 threes. VanVleet's going to absolutely kill this defense spread. And I think Siakam's going to have a big game too because I don't think Vucevic is going to be able to keep up with him. So I'm going to side with Toronto here. And I like they have a Siakam 1+3 and win at plus 200. I think I'm going to take a stab at that with this game.
1+3, yeah. Usually go for 3 threes, 4 threes.
That's what I mean. I've never seen a 1+3.
How many attempts does he average per game? It can't be more than 2 something.
Look, this is his most recent games: 3, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3.
Okay,
he's made one in every single one I just named.
Why is that line there then? Shouldn't it be 1.5 or? Okay.
Well, it should be 2+ and win, but they listed a 1+, so we're gonna bet it.
Great job finding the mistake. I like the Bulls. Tyler likes Toronto. We the people likes Toronto. What are your thoughts, AP?
Yeah, I like the Bulls here. So tough road stretch. Utah, Phoenix. I mean, those two are never easy at all. And what's funny is, so we were down in Scottsdale, and a bunch of the people that we were with went to the game. I elected not to. I mean, big NBA guy, but I watch so many games. I was worried. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a tough game for them. Like I saw that the Bulls, just had got destroyed by Utah. They lost to the Kings. I'm like, this is not the game to go to. And I think they get it done though tonight. I think they're back home, should be well rested. While Toronto is, on a back-to-back, down a few key players. I like that the Bulls are getting guys back as well. So yeah, give me the Bulls here. Nice and simple. I think they get it done, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get it done comfortably tonight. All
right, and Tyler, Nick DePalmo's on to you. He understands that you love fading Chicago. Right?
I mean, they stink. Why would you want to fade?
All right, I think that's all the games. Right now we've got through them all. Let's make a little lineup here, AP. I'll go ahead and start, and of course, I'm going off stuff that you said. But of all the stuff that you said, what really stood out to me, Chris Dunn at 3,800, giving us a good start here with a high upside here and plenty of salary remaining here. So I'm going to start with Chris Dunn. Did you have someone, and then we'll get a player from Tyler?
Yeah, let's go. Let me just look real quick. I was trying to see.
Tyler, did you have someone that stood out for you right now?
I got to go with Darius Garland. I think he's going to absolutely kill the Lakers tonight.
Garland,
we'll
I
put
like
him in the
that.
lineup right now too. That's our one of our spend ups here at 9,300. But still, with the upside at 9,300, right? That's great because you get that superstar upside. You know, he could have the same points as a guy that cost 11K, 12K. So, you know, we got a real cheap guard and then we have an expensive guard. AP, how do you want to fill this out?
Yeah, let's fill it out with let's go Kevin Durant.
Okay.
So we could put him at small forward or power forward, and then let's get different somehow. Let's for that fourth spot, let's go with, you know, my one concern is I think this guy. I think we need a piece from the Pistons, but let's go with Rui Hashimura 3-9. It's either him or Daniel Gafford, but let's go with Rui Hashimura with kind of the assumption that maybe Kuzma sits, and even if Kuzma doesn't sit, he's still going to get the run that he has been getting, which is right around 25 to maybe 27 minutes.
All right, yeah, and Hashimura, right? Kind of a forgotten player there in Washington, and you know, like one of the things I do to keep myself up on this stuff is I read a lot of like the local teams blogs or the subreddits, and there's a lot of Wizards fans who are not happy with the way that Hashimura has been developed. So maybe they give him a shot here over the last 11 games, and of course,
Or we go Daniel Gafford. I'm not feeling good about those comments if they're not.
I was
happy
actually
with
thinking that too. For whatever reason, you know, he hasn't been getting a lot of minutes. Do you want to switch that out with Gafford because tonight's not a night where we need to save those center positions, right?
I thought they were being cautious with them coming off injury, but no, Gafford I think is sneaky. Like, give him 22 minutes against the Rockets and he gets it done.
Yeah, I think I like Gafford there a little more. For whatever reason, you know, Hashimura seems to have fallen out of favor. And when you're rebuilding and developing, it's like let these young guys play, see what you got. So, you know, and now that we've taken him out, hopefully he doesn't drop 60 on us. But we will see how he
you
goes.
could take it if you want to get super crazy, you could go double cheap center with Gafford and Willie Hernan-Gomez. Two centers coming off the bench in the best center matchups on the board. So,
but that's going to allow you to spend up for all types of studs.
Yeah.
So. All right. I like that. I'm going to throw this guy in here too. All right, Tyler, we've done it. We've made it through. Gregory Russo is here. He's waiting for the best bets. What's your best bet for today, Tyler? Side, total, or prop?
My best bet is going to be that Detroit -9. I just think they're going to smash Portland. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with them. And I just think Cade Cunningham's going to have a big game. And with no Josh Hart, I don't see where the offense comes from with Portland. So give me Detroit.
All right. Not a big believer in Justice Winslow is Tyler. AP, what's your best bet for today?
Yeah, give me the Nets plus 1.5. A bet I think we all liked, actually. So I think KD has a big game. Yeah, Nets plus 1.5.
All right. You know, and Jonathan Nelson, don't hate me, but I'm going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers a -5 here against the Los Angeles Lakers. It's just, it's almost getting Pavlovian, right? I just bet against the Lakers and I get money and I just want to keep doing it, right? Every time I see them on the card. So I'll continue to do that. Let's see if they can spoil LeBron's second homecoming. And that'll be a fun one for me. So that is it for us, gentlemen. AP, do you want to let everybody know all the great content we have here at Rumtor Sports this week?
Yeah, assuming everyone in the company is still live, we should have a ton of content this week. Everyone is still like, I'm seeing Snapchats.
That's a bold
from Tony.
assumption, really.
Jeez, like, gosh, these guys are grinding hard, but they're getting it done still. Like, I saw Tidal had a big win. Shout out to Tidal.
Hoop
like,
did as well.
Hoop had a nice win. So yeah, Tambo, our golf, one of our main golf guys, he had a monster win too. So yeah, shout out to all those guys. But yeah, we have PGA is a little different this week. It's a match play event. You know, take some time, watch the show. There's a legit formula for doing it because you don't want to, you know, pair guys against each other. So I think there's a nice little edge there. And then, yeah, we got NBA. We got MLB coming back here soon. We'll have a schedule up for that. Tennis. I know, Spread, you're on tennis. And MMA, all that good stuff.
Yeah, excited to fill out that playbook tomorrow because you know that I enjoy the WTA more. And the women start one day earlier than the men at these two tournaments. So it'll be an all WTA lineup tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to making that playbook. But Tyler, there's one reason the people are staying around, and it's not to hear about my tennis playbook. It's for your winning parlay. What do you have for us today?
Well, since it's Monday, we'll give them two. We'll
Wow.
go with the first one. We'll go with we got Garland 3+ threes and Cleveland wins.
Okay.
KD 30+ points and Brooklyn wins.
Okay.
Luka 30+ in Dallas wins. That gets you 25 to 1.
All right.
And then we made a 3-point one. Terry Rozier 4+ threes in Charlotte wins.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Love 3+ threes in Cleveland wins.
Okay.
Jalen Green 2+ threes in Houston wins. That one gets you 44 to 1.
Oh, that second one, I like it, though. That's a lot of fun. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Remember, brought to you by runpuresports.com. Promo code GetBets. Join it. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow with Mr. Travis Mangone, giving you all the best bets, all the best DFS plays, and, of course, those revenge narratives that you need to know about. Thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Run